on into the July episode of Strategy Game News. I know that this episode is very late, please forgive me, I did take some time off in June, and then that time extended for a little longer than I thought it was going to. This video is timestamped if you'd like to jump around and see which games are coming out that you in particular might be interested in. And as always, a massive thank you to our friends over at Into the AM for sending me some t-shirts that are super duper comfy and also really cool. All of their artwork is done by humans and I cannot express how comfortable these shirts are. I do have a discount code for you if you'd like to jump over and check out their stuff for yourself. I've got a link down in the description of this video that'll give you a little discount at checkout. The first video on our list to cover today is actually one that I've made a video on in the past, so to see this one hitting early access was pretty exciting for me. Let's dive on in and check out what it was. The World War II airfield management sim Ground of Aces from Blind Frog Studios released into early access on July 10th. This colourful, in-depth take on the remote airfields of the Second World War sees the player build and design their airfield and accompanying base from scratch, using supplies flown in by the army and the resources of the landscape. You'll need to look after your soldiers and provide shelter, food, and entertainment for them, while also maintaining your fleet of stationed aircraft and participating in nearby missions. A successful mission will be graded and used to negotiate for better supplies and parts, resulting in a far more advanced base for your soldiers and airmen to recuperate within. The fighter planes within the game are accurate to the time period, adding an extra little element of fun for the military history-centric player. I played the demo of this one a while back and did enjoy the time I spent with it. As someone who greatly enjoys military aircraft, the plane models in particular sparked joy. The art style is very distinct and lends a nice note of uniqueness to the game, which I think could otherwise get lost in the landscape of military sims. All in all, if you're a military history gamer, I'd recommend at minimum chucking this one on your wishlist. Tactical turn-based time looper Every Day We Fight from Signal Space Labs and Hooded Horse also released into early access on July 10th. Every Day We Fight drops you in as a member of the resistance guerrilla group The Thorns, who are fighting back against a mysterious alien invasion. Whilst the Rifters have locked most of humanity away in frozen time, the Thorns remain curiously unaffected and lead the charge to free their planet, even if they have to relive the same day a few times to do so. With some first-person shooter elements, as well as the classic turn-based combat that a lot of strategy gamers will be familiar with, Every Day We Fight features randomized skirmishes, open-world cityscapes, squad skill customization, and a strong narrative to get immersed in. Every Day We Fight is now available in early access. Tactical roguelike from 9 Dot Studio and publishing Lost in Prayer is releasing into early access on July 15th. This roguelike differs from others by having your downfall become your greatest strength. Every time you die to an enemy, that enemy becomes a playable creature. You'll need to work your way through floors, trying different combos and tactics to get through each one to unlock every character in the game. With unique abilities and skills, you'll be able to play with your preferred playstyle by finding your ultimate build and using its strengths against your current challenge. Use the quirks of the map to your advantage and make sure your build is suited to the enemies you'll face on the floor to see how far you'll get before falling to your next playable character. This might be the first and only game where I recommend dying as soon as possible to give you a strong strategic advantage in the early game. Lost in Prayer will be available in early access very soon, so make sure to go and check it out on Steam. The classic medieval RTS Stronghold Crusader is getting a definitive edition. Releasing on July 15th, this remastered edition of the beloved original features remade visuals, bigger maps, an increased 10,000 unit cap, new units, modes, campaigns, and most importantly, co-op. In this city builder RTS, you can work solo or with a friend to create the desert stronghold fortress of your wildest dreams. Manage your citizens' needs and train troops to fend off the enemy forces while constructing your own siege equipment to take the offensive to them. There will be 2 new historical campaigns that you can play, and yes, you can team up with a friend to take them on. But if you prefer a more casual game, skirmishes will also be available for a quick conquest. This will actually be my first foray into the Stronghold franchise, and I'm super excited to get stuck into this one. It'll likely be covered on my Twitch channel in the coming weeks, so feel free to jump over there and help me out if you're familiar with the games, or learn alongside me if you're not. The classic adventure auto battler from Chronicle and Hooded Horse, He Is Coming arrives on July 17th. Send your warrior hero into the woodlands and marshes to collect valuable armor, weapons, and artifacts in order to build the perfect combo of stats. You'll have 3 days before facing the first minion of the Demon King, and you'll need to use those days to put together a build that is the anathema of the boss's stats. Explore the map, buff your weapons, and become the ultimate hero in the darkness. He is Coming also features an asynchronous multiplayer mode, Kingmaker. In Kingmaker, you'll battle fallen Steam players instead of the usual monstrous foes, and when you fall, your character will join their ranks to test new players as well. This one is releasing super soon, so make sure to have a look at the Steam page and wishlist. Colony management sim Ascent of Ashes is hitting early access on July 21st. Self-published by Vivid Storm Interactive, this base builder sees the player construct and manage a colony of survivors in a dystopic wasteland, defending against a myriad of enemies who wish to tear your base down to rubble. Combat features heavily in Ascent, requiring a strong tactical focus from the player in order to defend their colony from raiders. Enemies will vary in intelligence and strategy capabilities depending on their faction and training, requiring a dynamic approach from the player in order to overcome each challenge. You'll be able to explore a post-apocalyptic world by vehicle and on foot, with points of interest to explore and different biomes to adventure to. Each map is procedurally generated and will provide a different gaming experience for each run. From the creators of the RimWorld mod Combat Extended, Ascent of Ashes looks to be a fresh take on the colony management genre with a heavy focus on tactical combat, as to be expected. This will be the studio's first full game, so let's keep eyes on the development of this one and check it out when it releases into early access on July 21st. Another release on July 21st will be the tongue-in-cheek roguelite The King is Watching from Hypnohead and TinyBuild. This medieval kingdom builder features a unique mechanic. Your villages will work only under your watchful gaze. You'll need to manage limited space and choose your resources and focuses carefully while defending against enemy sieges, as each enemy type requires a different counter. Working within a small grid, the player can expand their gaze through skill upgrades, which, being a roguelite, serves as the game's meta progression and will carry over to the next run. With a touch of fantasy and magic, this medieval roguelite looks like a ton of fun, and I'll be giving this one a shot in the near future on one of the channels. Changing gears a little bit now, the dark fantasy roguelike Hellclock will be releasing into early access on July 22nd. This ARPG roguelike combination takes place during Brazil's War of Canudos in 1896. You'll play as Pageo, a warrior searching for the lost soul of his mentor in the depths of hell. With fast-paced combat and diverse abilities, Hellclock will challenge the player by testing them against the ultimate enemy, time. The clock will continue ticking down as you blast your way through levels and enemies, while collecting relics and drops to extend your level time as you go. The player will be able to purchase and equip blessings, which act as unique upgrades and skill buffs. And along with the different weapons you can choose from, this will allow you to tackle the combat with your preferred fighting style. This game seems to have had a super lively development phase, with a playtest back in December receiving a lot of meaningful feedback that it seems the team has taken on board. This is a historical event I don't know much about, so I'm looking forward to learning more about it as I play. The Steam page does warn that Hellclock deals with some very dark themes, so make sure to check out the content description before downloading the demo. And that is it for the July episode of Strategy Game News. Again, I heartily apologize for the delay on this one. I was working on getting a full audio drama completed and the special edition of Beasts of London out, which we still do have some copies on our website, so if you'd like to get yourself a nice fancy copy of this book, do just jump over to the website, skynation.info, to grab yourself a copy before we sell out. I'll be back in just a couple of weeks with the August episode of Strategy Game News. If there's anything you'd like me to focus on in particular, as always, do feel free to email me at reneeskyplays@gmail.com. Otherwise, let me know in the comment section of this video which game you're looking forward to in particular. And as always, happy gaming, and I'll see you in August.